So the next part is this stand. So I put this PSD file up on D2L for you guys, and so you could go through and take this out in layers and put grass or cobblestone or boards or whatever you want to do to this. Just a standard output. You can see why I floated this on 1117. It's pretty big. So now what I would do is I would take this over to a spray mount area, and I would again close cut it off like here. You know, you want to get as much waste off without touching the art as possible. Now keep in mind, I do need to put a flap here, so it's one of those things where I forgot to put it in there, and I definitely need one. So it's not going to be that big, so I can cut this back a little bit. So that's a nice size right there. It's a little bit better. So I would turn this upside down, and I would spray it with this. I would do it 3 times. Let it dry between each coat. Again, you could feel the tack on it. And then you would have a piece of poster board like this, and you would stick it down like that. And then you would be ready to cut it out. So I again really recommend this poster board. Really does not work well for foam core. This would be, you need to fold this, so it would not work. So then it would come out looking like this. This is one that I already glued down to a piece of board. So let's take this away. I feel like I'm one of those cooking shows where they already have parts of the pie already made, but this just is going to save up a little bit of time. So the first thing we need to do here is we need to get these scores correct. So what I do is either a straight edge like this, but you definitely need to have a paper clip, a dull, big, fat paper clip. If you try to do it with an X-Acto knife, you're going to cut through the paper fibers, and it's going to crack, and it will not work. You don't want to use a pencil because it leaves marks. A lot of times people will take a piece of tracing paper and put it over the top and do it that way, but I tend to not do that. I like to get as much of a divot as possible. So I pretty much know where I'm going to put my folds. So again, I'm going to go ahead and start doing that right now and show you how this thing pops together. And this will actually help if you have this stand. I'm going to teach you how to build this thing. So look at, I'm pressing down really hard. And if you think you did it enough, do it 5 more times. You can see, look at the dent there. And that's going to pay huge dividends. So wherever you're going to bend this thing, you definitely need to have a score. This is actually taking care of 2 parts. It's the smaller flap for the front of the stand, and then this is the actual mitered sides. So I'm going to do it right here too. And you know, the main thing is to hold this thing down as hard as you possibly can with this hand. If it moves, then you're going to end up making a score where you don't want it to be. I can feel it right there. I'm going to do another one right here like this. So now that we have those done, that'll go together real well. We need to do another one right here like this. I kind of like having a cutting board underneath it so that there's a place for it, the divot to go into. It's kind of helping it release it. So again, if you think you did it enough, do it 5 more times. Hold that down really hard. Make sure it's level, even, and you know, it's one of those things where you think you did it enough. When you build this thing, you're going to need every little score that you make, because number one, you're going to get cracking, and number two, you don't want something to fold off of the line. It looks really messy. It looks kind of chewy, and I don't like it. And I think I told you earlier I forgot to put a flap up here, so I'm going to actually come in here and accommodate for that flap right now. Take it down to about here. So if you're using this display, you really, it's in the best interest to accommodate for this flap now, because if you have to put one on, a door flap, it's not fun. It's doable. So I did everything I needed. All of the folds are done. I can cut this thing out, and this is a brand new blade, so I'm pretty happy about that. Okay, so I guess now it's just, again, coming in here and being very precise, taking your time, and you think you did it enough, do it again. Alright, I can't underscore the whole idea that when you're using a straight edge like this, very, very important that you hold down really tight. And if you think about it this way, you don't really want to cut something with one swipe. It's a lot easier if you just let the paper fibers catch and you just let it swim across there like that. You know, let the tool do it for you. Okay, let's go ahead. I think I'm going to just leave that the way it is because I don't need it. Let's do this side over here. I was taught by my bosses in the past that whenever you're doing any kind of cutting, you shield your work. So if you have artwork over here, you put the blade against the artwork. So if I move this way, it's not going to destroy the artwork. If I move this way, it's going to protect the artwork. Just another thing that haunts me from the olden days. Okay, so I think I got to cut across the bottom, but lay out this one right here. I just want to make sure I have one big swipe going across like this. There we go. And now all we have to do is these little miters. Again, going way too fast. I got a 30-year head start on you guys. I've been doing this for years. This was commonplace way back in the day before computers. You had to learn how to mount things, cut things out, make pocket folders, make displays. Everything was done by hand. But more and more it's all being taken over with computers, which is great because there's a lot of busy work here that really kind of keeps you away from design. I'd rather stay more on design than the busy work, although it's kind of fun sometimes. Alright, you don't want to ever pull it and rip it, because if you rip it, it ain't going to be fun. It's just going to look unprofessional. See, like right there, I think I have to close that up a little bit. So I have this as the waist here, and the only thing I left have to do is this part right there. So I'm going to take those pieces off, and so now we can go ahead and fold this thing. So see if our creases work well. I tend to do it like this. And then a lot of times it's always nice to have a little bit of persuasion here. Like that. That's one side. So I tend to do it like this to try to help it find the crease. If you just very carefully kind of snap it into place, it finds it for you. There we go. This you can see, right, I'm already noticing I should have scored it some more. It was kind of cracking a little bit, but I saved it. Okay, so that takes care of that. Let's get this one done. Yeah, there we go. I can feel it pop into place. You can see I don't force it. It's like you just kind of like let the paper find it. There we go. It's starting to come together. Let's do this one right here. This one, I think I am going to scrape this one by one more time. I'm nervous about this one. It just didn't seem like it was done enough. All of them seem like I could have ran that across a couple more times. This is a little uneven, but you won't see it. It'll be tongued into the side middle. So let's get these guys over. I got a little bit of a picky thing to get that out of the way. So it's coming together pretty fast now. Had to get the big stuff done. I tend to go a little bit over. That one was really scored well. There we go. So everything is folded. Now let's do kind of a dry fit to see if it fits. So yeah, look at that. It fits in nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and start putting this together. I think I'm going to do just for the this here, I'm going to use this two-sided tape. I like this a lot. It's very sticky and it works really well. There's that, and I'm going to double it over because it's sticky on both sides, and then curl it underneath. And then take another piece like right here. You don't want to get any tape on the front. If you wanted to use any other kind of dry transfer tape, you can. This seems to work pretty well. I got this at CVS or Walgreens. It's not too bad, actually. It works pretty well. It's pretty sticky. Again, there's something that is actually literally a rubber cement between two pieces of wax paper rolled up, and I do like that better than this. My only concern about this is that it might release itself down the road. Okay. So the last piece we need is on the back. Let's do that now. I'm just going to go ahead and put one right down the middle here. And if I was going to do this for real, I think I'd go all the way across. Alright, so let's see if we can get this thing put together. There's one side right there. And make sure it's nice and square. There. Let's get the top down. I want to line it up good. That's why you can see where I have a little bit of the hardwood floor underneath. Make sure you pinch it a lot. Like a lot. You can see on the inside here, really want to pinch that a lot. So, line that up evenly. So this is really the benefits of doing something with accurate measurements. You don't really have any headaches. Everything fits together neatly. So you can see inside here, it worked out great. You can see the flaps are actually glued down or taped down. If you really wanted to have some security, you could come in here and put a piece of masking tape over the top of that, and that worked really well. There's the top there. Let's go ahead and get the back put on. Kind of fold it closed like this. There we go. I think we're done. So look at that. I got the stand done, and you can see it's an identical stand. Newer, but it worked beautifully. So that's basically how to build that off of a sheet of paper like this. So I hope this helps a lot. Kind of explain it.